Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Inside Seminole Football with Coach Mike Norvell. Coming up over the next hour, we will hear from the head coach after Florida State's season-opening defeat to Georgia Tech 16-13. We'll look ahead to where Florida State needs to improve as they go into an open week, talk a little bit about Miami, and also meet one of Florida State's new assistant coaches. He handles special teams as the coordinator and also coaches defensive ends. That's Coach JP, John Papuchis, plus the only player in the country with a multi-interception game so far this year. He is a Nole, Asante Samuel Jr., and he'll join us next. It's all straight ahead right here on Inside Seminole Football with head coach Mike Norvell. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Inside Seminole Football with head coach Mike Norvell. I am Tom Block. Coach, good to see you again, and we'll look back to what happened on Saturday. I know it's an open week, and we won't get too far into Miami this week, but certainly it's your first game. I know you didn't get the results you wanted, but I thought your comments after the game were spot on, and that how we will be defined, or how your team will be defined, is not what happened on Saturday, but it's how you go from here, how you respond moving forward.
Absolutely, and we knew that coming into the season, there's a lot of challenges that have arose, and obviously the game did not end how we wanted. It hurt for our players, hurt for our staff. A lot of investment and work has gone into building to where we want to get to, but we got knocked down a little bit on Saturday, and our focus and everything that we talked to our guys in the locker room, and then obviously yesterday coming in with team meetings is we've got to get up, we got to continue to push, continue to move forward, and improve in every aspect. And I really thought our guys had the right mindset and approach. Everybody's disappointed. That's understood, but to come back out and go to work and continue to improve, I mean, that's going to be the biggest focus we have.
Just as you will look at game tape following victories and find areas you can improve, you also can look at game tape following losses and find areas where you did well. And I'm sure when you look at the start of that game, the first two drives offensively, it was short fields, but you were able to move the ball, get into the red zone, and score on both those opportunities.
Well, I think looking through the entire course of the game, there were a lot of positives we can draw from. I mean, I thought defensively, a couple times where we were put in challenging situations with a short field to defend. I thought our defense did a nice job in being able to keep them out of the end zone. And obviously that was a huge highlight with a couple of the interceptions by Asante, and being able to have those impact plays. The block kicks that we had on our field goal block unit were critical in keeping them from getting points at the end of drives where we had bent a little bit, but being able to bow up there at the end and to keep them out of the end zone and to keep points off the board were big. Offensively, there were as we started off, we were able to move the ball. I thought throughout the course of the game there were times where we're moving the ball well, but a lot of those self-inflicted issues. I mean, a penalty here, a penalty there, a missed opportunity with a drop pass. Just things that you can't have, and that's one thing that we have to improve on is our consistency. We didn't have the explosive play that we needed throughout the course of that game, and we just struggled consistently moving the ball down the field like it's necessary to achieve success, and that's something we're going to continue to work on.
And part of it that played in, and it's not an excuse by any stretch, but it was you're talking about a different dynamic this offseason. Then you get a couple of weather delays right away, and then at one point or another in the game, you had 4 out of your 5 starting offensive linemen who were missing time. So the circumstances are what they are. You play through anything, but it just happened to unfold that way.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the game. That's part of life. I mean those things you have to be prepared to adapt and adjust to whatever situation shows itself. I definitely am tired of delays of the season. Obviously a lot of things that have shown up, but we had a plan, and that's one thing our players they continue to see that we're going to be prepared for whatever shows itself. We just have to do a better job of executing throughout those circumstances so that we can finish the game in a successful manner.
This is Inside Seminole Football with Coach Mike Norvell, and it gives you, the fan, a chance to ask some questions of the coach. Today's questions come from our fans on Twitter. Be sure to tweet at Seminoles IMG for the chance to have your question featured on the show and to score free queso from Tijuana Flats. First one, and you just referenced delays. This is from JB in Crawfordville. He said, how did the team try to stay focused and energized during the weather delays. There's one in pregame and then one after the first score.
And, we have a very specific plan. We went through throughout the course of fall camp that if there was a lightning delay, that exactly where we'd go, what we'd do, and I thought our coaches, players, everybody executed that to a high level. I thought that even in pregame, we had a little bit shortened pregame than what we're accustomed to, but our guys, they kept the right mindset, kept the right approach. We came out, we started fast, being able to go down and score on the first drive, and then immediately after that we had another delay. And so, we went back in, you tried to make sure that our guys were hydrating, we're able to address a couple issues with them, and then, we even came out the next couple drives and had success.
Right.
It's just putting that consistently together. And, the one thing that it did do, it stretched our day out so much longer than what a normal course of a game would be. And, coming in out of halftime, that we'd been, that's something that, we got to continue to work on. And, throughout the course of a game, no matter what happens, what delay shows up, just maintaining that same intensity and edge throughout the course of the 60 minutes.
Is part of it for you and your staff? You didn't really have a spring. You had 3 practices. You had 2 scrimmages. At some point, you have to see what happens when the lights go on and how guys respond. And this truly, no matter how much you try to replicate it or simulate it in practice, you can't get there till it's a game day situation. So now you've got the first sample, so to speak, and it's a little bit easier to say, okay, we definitely need to work on this.
Yeah, and we needed to play a game, and that was something that was necessary for our guys to see how they responded. We had talked throughout the off season about preparing for that moment. Anytime there's a new coaching staff and new systems, new expectations, there is a sense of excitement, and this is not something where you just flip the switch and all is good. We're not living in a fairy tale. This is you're going to face real life situations, and we saw it in the course of the game. Up 10 points at halftime, you got in the second half, faced a little adversity, and our guys just have to continue to believe that they can. They continue to believe that they, if we can just focus on the play that's in front of us, not trying to do too much. Because you go back and watch the film, and man, we have times we got 10 guys that are doing an outstanding job, and we got opportunities for big plays in every unit. But there's just one guy or one situation where it's not all totally coming together, and we were able to address that as film. And I told the guys, everybody goes back and reevaluates, coaches, players. I mean, there's a couple calls that I would have liked to have had a different call in the situation or in the moment, in all aspects. And so we all know that we have to continue to improve and get better, but this collectively is a team effort and an understanding that we all are in the same situation and all have each other's back through the course of what happened there on Saturday.
All right, let's go back to the questions from fans. This is Tony from Tallahassee. He says, how do you feel about adding a quick passing scheme into our plays? I'll broaden that just a little bit. I know you say it's an offense built for playmakers. I don't know that we've had a big sample size on what your passing scheme or your passing hope is. You certainly mixed in some short screens and whatnot at the start of the game.
Yeah, and I thought that was something that that was probably the thing that we did the best throughout the course of the game was the quick game passes. And we need to be more efficient in the intermediate throws, and we need to be more efficient in being able to push the ball down the field. We had a couple missed opportunities when it came to that. I thought with the quick game passing game was productive. That was something that we've got to continue to expand upon and be able to do. But I thought our guys were able to execute that in a pretty high level.
We will be joined later in the program by one of your assistant coaches, defensive ends coach, and also special teams coordinator, John Papuchis. A comment from you about special teams quickly, because they certainly performed very well the other day.
Yeah, that's something that we wanted to get off to a great start with. Just being able to showcase the investment that we're making in those units, and to have the 3 block kicks was huge. I think our kickoff cover team did an extraordinary job. We were extremely close to breaking a long one in a couple of our return units, but that's something that we're going to really hang our hat on, and we want that to be a strength of our football team.
Inside Seminole Football with Coach Mike Norvell is brought to you by VyStar Credit Union, proud partner of Florida State Athletics. And we will continue after these messages.
Within our walls, lives are being changed. Healing is happening, making people stronger. Because we know a healthy life is a happy life, and your health means everything to us. You are why we're blending innovative technology with compassion and going beyond our walls to rethink healthcare. We are Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare, your hospital for life.
Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell is sponsored by Bobby Dollar Appliance Consultants, The Gym Collection, and Tallahassee Roofing. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell is sponsored by AAA Tree Experts, Tallahassee Harley-Davidson, and Reed's Metals. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell is sponsored by Bobby Dollar Appliance Consultants, The Gym Collection, and Tallahassee Roofing.
Even at a young age, Barry knew that you can't protect against everything life has in store, but you can sure try. Better safe than sorry. The same is true today at Barano Heating and Air. Our team helps homeowners protect their investment with regular maintenance options that can help keep their system safe from unexpected crashes. Barry knows comfort. Learn more at whatbarryknows.com.
At Inside Edition, we don't just report the news. We go where the news is happening. Inside Edition.
Watch Inside Edition weeknights at 7 on ABC 27.
I have to go to bed every night knowing that I tried to get a job.
As we look to get our lives back on track, many are ready to get back to work.
Just remember that you will get through this.
ABC 27's The Rebound Tallahassee is here to connect you to critical resources.
We are still here to help people.
See who's hiring, how to file for benefits, and how you can stand out in our digital world.
Really take a moment to prepare your answers.
All in one convenient place. To learn more, visit WTXL.tv/rebound.
Reed's Metals is one of the largest providers of metal roofing, pole barns, and pre-engineered steel buildings in the South, with state-of-the-art methods to provide quality and service, offering same-day pickup, on-site roll forming for standing seam projects, and job site delivery within 72 hours, pending location. Buy direct and save, over 20 colors to choose from, and a 45-year paint warranty. In Cross City, call 352-498-0100 or online at reedsmetals.com.
Out here, you don't work for applause. You push through every obstacle to cross your own finish lines. Because leadership is what you do when no one else is watching. That's how we're going to get out of this pandemic together. That's how I've spent my career in Tallahassee. I'm Loran Osley, and that's how I'll get things done for you in the Florida Senate.
Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football. Tom Block along with head coach Mike Norvell. Coach, defensively, one of your stalwarts, and you had a couple of really solid performances, but I want to start with the guy who made a couple of picks, and he'll join us in a little bit. But Asante Samuel Jr., not just two key interceptions, but they thwarted Georgia Tech drives, and it was good to see for a very talented player that he was able to have those opportunities and convert.
Absolutely, and that was something that we really challenged Asante throughout the course of the offseason to take his game to the next level, and he is really prepared at a very high level in practice. It was great to see that carry over to the game field, and in critical situations, in times that we were kind of backed up, deep into our own territory, we just continue to focus on playing the next snap. And Asante put himself in a great position to make two critical plays. I know that I think coming into the game, he only had one career interception, and to be able to get two in the first game, it was definitely impressive to see, and excited about what this year can be for him as he continues to grow and develop.
Let's get back to some fan questions. This is another Queso question presented by Tijuana Flats. Sean from Tallahassee asks, having your first game under your belt, what do you look to improve on during the off week and leading up to the game against Miami?
All of our focus this week is on our individual and collective group improvement, and we have to stay focused on the little things. We got to work fundamentals, making sure that that we can establish that consistency that's necessary to regardless if it's an 8, 10, 12 play drive, defensively play in, play out, regardless of the situation that we're put in, we've got to be able to execute at a higher level. As a coaching staff, it's big for us to continue to evaluate what were the things that we had success with, what were the things that we need to continue to improve in, and then as we move forward, where are the areas of strength that we're going to be able to showcase with these guys and continue to adapt what we're asking them to do so that they can go out and have a high level of success.
This question comes from Christine from Albany. She wants to know, how has Tamari and Terry's return this year impacted the team?
Well, Tamarian is a very talented young man. He was, he had his moments there on Saturday. Looking for him to continue to grow and continue to perform at a very high level. But he's a young man that has all the skill set that you want, and we're excited about what this year can be for him.
All right, question from Bryce from Atlanta. How do you lean on former staff who were players such as ODEL, HAGGINS, and Ron Dugans to help navigate FSU through your first year here?
It brings a great perspective. Of obviously a lot of the traditions that have been in place. That here throughout the course of our wonderful program, and some of the different things that that are special. And in pregame, we were able to bring back a little bit of the ankle walk, and obviously incorporating the marching chiefs into that. With the good, bad, and the ugly. I thought that was a special moment, and it was one that that's a tradition that's honoring all the great past. I talked to Coach Bowden there last week, and asked him if that would be something that he would approve of, and he was excited that we could commemorate the great tradition of what that means to our program, and we're looking to continue to push forward, and having those two guys on staff definitely is a wonderful assistance.
Yeah, it was good to see. It was fun to see that throwback to the dynasty days and Coach Bowden. This is from Andrew from Ocala. The old Monday morning quarterback question, but is there any certain play you would have called differently?
You go back through the course of each game, and you see different perspectives. There were a couple situations where you'd probably like to have a tweak here or there in what you were doing. I mean, I felt very confident in our preparation, and trying to put our guys in the best position. I think when the course of the game, and you have different substitutions, you have different things that happen, barring injury or things like that. You always want to make sure you're putting your guys in the best situation to achieve success, and that would probably be the one thing that in a couple situations I would have liked to you probably had a different little look in what we did, but our guys are going to continue to grow and respond from all those situations that we were able to see.
I know you've been asked about this, I'm sure, after the game. When the end game situation, I guess the penultimate drive, a 4th and 3 there, it would have been a long field goal. How much serious consideration, or how seriously did you consider the field goal as compared to going for it in that?
Yeah, I did. It was a part of my consideration. Obviously, we felt really good about the call that we had for that situation on 4th and 3 where we were. Would like to have a little bit higher percentage, and especially with where we were in the time, the course of the game. We felt that even if we did not get it, that we'd have an opportunity to possibly be able to continue to roll. But for our guys, it's those are one of those things that you got to have your guys back. You got to believe in what they can do, and obviously Parker had done a really nice job in the game, but we wanted to put him in a position to succeed, and we've just felt like with barring the percentages and the things that we knew, we were going to be aggressive in that moment, trying to set up an opportunity to go win the game, but then also have an opportunity to tie it if we had we're a little bit closer.
This question from Cassie from Tampa, and I'm not sure you've had much time to reflect on this, but can you describe what it was like to coach your first game at FSU?
It was a great joy. Like I said, I was humbled and honored for the opportunity, and we've got a lot of work to do. And that moment, being able to run out of the tunnel. To be able to represent this wonderful university is something I'll always remember. The game didn't finish like how we wanted, but like I said, it provides a great opportunity for growth, and we are going to grow from this. We're going to continue to work and continue to build upon the foundation which we're laying. And I believe in these players, I believe in these coaches, and it'll be a moment that we'll all look back on and be proud of where we've come and where we're going to based off of that first experience.
I don't know. I don't know that the word is easy, but now that you have game tape, so I'll ask it this way: is it easier to get players' attention or to talk to them and say, "This is what we've been trying to stress throughout practice, and here's what the result is on the field if you don't do it a certain way"?
Well, I mean, it's a direct correlation, and so that's something that why I say we needed to play a game. We had to get that experience, and there's only so much you can do in a scrimmage. There's only so much you can do, going against yourself, offensively and defensively. But when you're going against an opponent, somebody that that has their own scheme, their own plan, and trying to make sure that those guys can see the importance of every detail, every step. Being able to have that situational awareness, and that our communication and the things that are so critical to our success have to be on point. And so we were able to tie that back. We actually showed them the direct correlation from practice tape to the game, and I definitely believe that our guys understand the message, and we're going to work to improve that not only this week but as we continue on through the course of the season.
I mentioned earlier Coach JP is going to join us next. That's John Papuchis. Your connection there, just tell us a little bit about him. Our fans and listeners will get to meet him in the next segment.
Yeah, well, JP is an extraordinary coach. He's been doing this for a long time and been in a leadership role for most of the course of his career. And I've always admired his work. From afar. Didn't really know him. And through the early course of my coaching career, but we were able to have a couple of conversations. A few years back, and I got to understand a little bit of his philosophy, why he does what he does, and you see the success that he's had, really everywhere he's been. He was definitely somebody that I wanted to be a part of this staff, and he's done an extraordinary job, so far as we've gotten started, and you're really looking forward to what he continues to build in our special teams units and then working with our defensive ends.
Excellent. Football season is here. That means it's time to load up on your best snacks and some delicious ice-cold Coke for all your game day guests. Nothing tastes like everyone you love and everything you like coming together. Coca-Cola. Together, tastes better. Coach, best of luck. Have a good open week. We'll see you next week as we get set for Miami.
Thanks so very much, and go Noles.
Coach Mike Norvell and Inside Seminole Football continues after these messages.
This is not a restaurant. This is slow smoking that stirs your soul. The stuff that makes going out feel like coming home. This is not a restaurant. It's a barbecue. 50 years in the making. Come fill up on all your favorites. Sonny's Barbecue. Come taste tradition.
Our drive-thru is still open, 24/7 as usual. And now, when you order online between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., we'll walk it right out to your car. Just because we can't be close doesn't mean we can't be neighborly.
At Inside Edition, we don't just report the news. We go where the news is happening. Inside Edition.
Watch Inside Edition weeknights at 7 on ABC 27.
All your favorite flavors are on DoorDash. And now we're welcoming KFC to the family. Order select KFC bucket meals on DoorDash and get 12 extra crispy tenders on us with a $0 delivery fee. DoorDash, every flavor welcome.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of a woman's right to vote. Before that, voting wasn't just hard for women, it was impossible. Susan B. Anthony fought a lifelong battle to change that and died before the 19th Amendment was passed. But her efforts are alive today, as women are now the largest group of registered voters. Voting isn't hard, it's easy. You can even vote by mail. Circe Denny urges you to go to vote.org to request your vote by mail ballot.
Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football. Tom Block, and we're joined now by a new Florida State assistant coach. He coordinates the special teams and also coaches the defensive ends. This is Coach JP. It's John Papuchis. I'm going to stick with Coach JP so I don't mess that up on you. Good to see you, and I know the result wasn't what you wanted. We had a chance to talk with Coach Norvell, but when you go back and look, let's start on the special team side for this segment. Really dominating performance by special teams, at least from the layman's point of view. I'm sure you can nitpick some things, but assess the overall performance you got from your group.
I was pleased with the preparation. I thought we went out and executed fairly well. Obviously some things we can get better at, but you did feel the impact of our special teams units, and that's something that we strive for, and that was one of the things Coach mentioned in his opening press conference when he came, that we were going to be a team that excelled on special teams, and I thought we took steps in that direction on Saturday, and we got to keep building on that moving forward.
Part of the emphasis on special teams is a belief that you put your best players on your special teams unit. And so Marvin Wilson today named ACC Specialist of the Week. Normally that's going to be a punter or a kicker.
Sure.
I don't know how many times in the history of the league a defensive tackle's been named the Specialist of the Week, but he obviously blocked 2 kicks. Your team blocked 3. So whatever you did or however you're emphasizing it, you were able to, or maybe it was something Georgia Tech didn't do, you were able to take advantage of it.
Well, it's a major point of emphasis for us, and every day that we rep field goal, we do at least 1 live rep. And one of the things that is probably a little bit unique about the way we build our field goal block unit, which we call our pride unit, is it is a personnel grouping in and of itself. So, a lot of times in a lot of places I've been, it's whoever's kind of on the field at the time stays on the field. But for us, we pick just like every other unit, it's our very best guys, put them in a position to be successful, and it's a point of emphasis for us, and it showed up that way on Saturday.
Congratulations to Big Mar, first FSU player to block 2 kicks in a game since B.J. Ward, who was a safety back in 2003, and it's the first time that FSU as a team has blocked 3 kicks in the same game in several years. So let's talk about the kick coverage, because that was the first time we got to see special teams. FSU won the toss, deferred, so you kick off, and boom, right away, I think the first 2, maybe the first 3 kickoffs, Georgia Tech is starting inside their 20. You really got good coverage.
Yeah, I was excited about that. One thing that we've stressed is that our kickoff coverage unit is going to be the identity of this football team, and the way in which we go down the field, our speed and physicality. And to start off the season like that and really kind of set the tempo, pinning them inside their own 10-yard line on the first one of the year, I thought was really good just for our players. They're still feeling everything out too. They're figuring how this staff works, and just to create that buy-in to continue that, hey, we stress this, we work this, it's important, and then on the very first one to have success. I think that says a lot about who the players are and the buy-in that they have in the program.
Parker Grotehouse had a ton of touchbacks a year ago. So when he's kicking it to the 3 to 5, I don't want you to give away any state secrets, but obviously he could boot that in and you could take a touchback. So that has to be a philosophy that you're saying. Put it a little short and force him to run it out.
Well, I'd like to say I was that smart. I want him to kick it all the way through the back of the end zone if he could. Parker had a lot of added kind of responsibility the other day. It was the first time he's kicked our field goals and PATs along with the kickoffs in the game. So, I know that's something that he is hoping to build on going forward, but I don't try to overthink it. If we have a guy that can kick it out of the back of the end zone, most times we're going to allow him to do that.
Okay. Appreciate the candor.
Sure.
I'm giving you credit for something you didn't deserve.
But
let's flip it the other way then, because this rule changed, within the last couple of years, and you can take a fair catch within the 25 and get the ball out to the 25.
Sure.
And I imagine there's probably, your game plan is going to change every week depending on the other team's special teams unit. But is there a general theory or preference or thought, or how does that get handled when FSU is receiving a kick and there's a determination to be made? Okay, do I keep it in the end zone? Do I call a fair catch? How do you go through that?
No, that's a great question. So every week we have what we call a hot box, and it's for our returners. And it's kind of like if it was a visual on the screen when we show it in the meeting, it's a green area and there's a red area. And if that ball is anywhere in the green zone, you're free to go and bring it out. Anywhere in the red area, and you could tell on our very first kickoff return, our off returner has a lot to do with it as well. So he's going to be kind of the conscience of the returner to make sure he stays in and kind of helps him there. And Jayshawn Corbin really did a nice job on the very first kickoff that we received of the game, making sure Trav knew where he was on the field and kind of kept him in the end zone. We'd much rather take it to the 25 than put ourselves in a bad field position spot.
And then I guess the analogy would be maybe a base stealer in baseball who's always got the green light. Until, of course, there's a point in the game, whether it's momentum, you're on the road, the crowd, whatever the reason is, you just kind of say, hey, just fair catch it.
Absolutely. I mean, and we want our kickoff return unit to feel like it's an absolute weapon for us. So I don't want to hamstring them so much that they don't feel like they can go out there and execute. But there are times and places that we have to be smart, and that's why we give them that hot box going into the game to know when they can and when they can't.
I don't want to put this player particularly on the spot, but the rule seems to be generally if you're returning a punt, you stand on the 10, and if it's over your head, you let it go. So was Travis J. caught one, returned it out to the 20, but was that just excitement, his first chance, he's waited a year, or is there a difference in philosophy there than what I just said?
No, there isn't a difference in philosophy. Our area that we allow is a little tighter than the 10, but I think the hardest thing that those guys have to do is judge a ball over their head, because you drift back a little bit to catch the ball. It's a lot easier when you know it's going to be a sky punt scenario. You can kind of put your heels in the ground and say, hey, if it's over my head, I'm going to let it go. When you're moving backwards, not anticipating that, that's probably the hardest thing he has to do. Probably lost a little bit of sight where he was on the field, but I don't really dislike his decision either. The way that first cover guy was down, if he lets that thing bounce, there's a good chance that thing is probably going to be pinned inside the 5. So the fact that he caught it, made the first guy miss, and really had a chance to get out and go. I was, each one you kind of judge independently. I was okay with that one.
Wasn't your first time seeing him, but fans, media, really the first time we've seen Travis Jay, who was at FSU a year ago, didn't get a chance to play unless people were going to Madison County football games.
Sure.
What does he, obviously you guys think highly of him. I mean, he's all over the depth chart in terms of at the safety position, on the special teams. Looks like he's got a chance to be electric.
No, there's no question. And like a lot of times people throw around like he's a great football player, and just kind of use that as a generic term. But that's what Travis said. I mean, whatever you ask him to do, he's one of the best on the team at doing it. When we do our drill work on kickoff cover or punt return or whatever the drill work is, he's always one of the best guys doing it. When we put him back there to catch the punts or catch the kickoff returns, he's one of the best out there doing it. So he just, as many times as we have an opportunity to put the ball in his hand, I think it's good for our football team.
We will get to defensive ends in our next segment, but I want to stick with special teams right now. And I've asked you this before, but for the sake of our listeners and viewers, not every head coach, again, don't name names, but not every head coach does more than lip service. A lot will just put lip service towards
Sure.
special teams. That's not who Mike Norvell is. So you're the special teams coordinator. In what you do, you're going to have the 100% support of the head coach. And again, that's different. It must make it a little bit easier for you on your end.
Oh, I've said this before, and I really feel like this, that I have the best job in America in terms of that. Because Coach Norvell, number one, he's super involved in everything that we're doing special teams-wise. Like, he's in the meetings. He's engaged with the players. He is absolutely 100% locked into what we're doing on teams. And to have that kind of support from the head coach, it makes it important to the players. It makes it important to the rest of the staff. Whatever the head coach emphasizes, that's going to trickle throughout the organization as being a point of emphasis. And since the day he's gotten here, that's been Coach Norvell's belief and mindset, and it's really filtered through the whole organization. The assistant coaches that don't, that coach other positions, the players, they all know when it's time to do special teams, they're going to be totally locked into the moment and doing it. And it's really a team effort. Obviously I get to sit here and talk about it, but all the coaches coach on it, and all the players that participate on it, they've totally bought into it, and it's really allowed us to build, towards having success. We're only one game in, but I like the direction we're going.
I think all would agree based on that performance. Farm Bureau Insurance wants you to see your Florida State Seminoles take on the Clemson Tigers at Doak Campbell Stadium this football season. Visit knowlescontest.com and register to win a weekend package including pregame hospitality, game tickets, hotel accommodations, and Knowles gear. We will continue our conversation with Florida State assistant coach John Papuchis when Inside Seminole Football with head coach Mike Norvell continues after these messages.
The FSU Bookstore has Tallahassee's largest selection of licensed Seminole merchandise. You can get your Seminole pride at the FSU Bookstore. Join us for home game day events, autograph signings by FSU former players, and more. Check out our social media page at facebook.com/FSU Bookstore for more details. You can shop at one of our 5 convenient locations or go online at shopfsu.com. Remember, the FSU Bookstore has the largest selection of licensed Seminole merchandise.
Within our walls, lives are being changed. Healing is happening, making people stronger. Because we know a healthy life is a happy life, and your health means everything to us. You are why we're blending innovative technology with compassion and going beyond our walls to rethink healthcare. We are Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare, your hospital for life.
She would stay with the guy she was sleeping with there. Not paying rent. Right.
Her presence was an irritation.
They would always get in arguments, so he would tell her to leave, then they would fix it, she'd come back, the deal.
And feeling sympathy for her.
I was stupid, I know.
Very stupid.
Brought more misery.
How did she get into debt because of you?
Next, Judge Judy. Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 27.
We see you keeping our families healthy, our loved ones safe, and our neighbors fed. We see you keeping the shelves stocked, the grills going, and the businesses running. We see you finding new ways of working and new ways of staying connected. ABC 27 is highlighting the positive things local businesses are doing with We're Open Tallahassee. We're Open Tallahassee is a partnership between ABC 27 and businesses across the Big Bend and South Georgia to shine a light on how they are evolving to support our communities and keep them going strong. If your business is changing the way you work, ABC 27 wants to hear from you. Go to WTXL.tv/open and let us know how your organization is adapting to help get our lives back on track. We're Open Tallahassee, only on ABC 27.
Looking for incredible speed and a great value? Xfinity gives you both. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet. Plus, with Xfinity XFi, you get the amazing coverage, control, and protection you need. Call 1-800-800-0335 today to learn more or get started with an amazing deal on Xfinity Internet for only $25 a month for 12 months. You'll get the best internet experience for your home with fast speed to power all your devices. But that's not all. With XFi, you'll even get control of your home Wi-Fi network, see who's online, and even pause Wi-Fi to connected devices. Just call 1-800-800-0335 to get started with Xfinity Internet for just $25 a month for 12 months. And ask how to get XFi Advanced Security for free when you get the XFi Gateway. That's a $72 a year value. Get the speed you want and the value you want. All risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-800-0335. Xfinity. Simple, easy, awesome.
Watch Inside Edition weeknights at 7 on ABC 27.
Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football. Okay, Coach, as we continue, let's move to the defensive side of the ball. First of all, I know you're disappointed in the result overall, but as you looked at the game tape, what did the defensive ends do well? What did they not do as well? Now that you have some time to get back into it and make some corrections.
What I thought we did well was I thought we executed within the game plan. There weren't very many mental errors or misassignments from a defensive end perspective. What I didn't feel like we did enough of was really impact the game. I think we have more pass rush ability than translated on Saturday. Our production wasn't quite where any of us want it to be. So that's got to be something that we build on going forward. And it doesn't mean that now we play outside the framework of the system. You still got to play within the framework of the defense. But when we have opportunities to make plays, we got to take advantage of it and capitalize on it.
How much of it was credit Georgia Tech that it was a quick passing game? I mean, a lot of times the ball was out of Jeff Sims' hands before a pass rush could truly get home.
Sure. I mean, I thought going in that they had a good plan. I thought they executed it well. You got to give them credit because they did come in here and execute the plan they wanted to execute. And the ball did get out of his hands relatively quick, and they were able to stay kind of on rhythm in terms of their operation. The times we did get them in long yard situation, they did a good job with their screen game to kind of get them back to third and manageable stuff. But I do feel like going forward, we have to have more of an impact off the edge with our pass rush. And really, it's all four guys working together, making sure that happens.
Obviously, really disappointing to see that Joshua Kando went down. I think that was right at the end of the first quarter, especially given how hard he worked to get back on the field.
Yeah, no, when that happened, you kind of see it. I could see the block coming, from where I was standing, and just when he went down, my heart fell into my stomach. I just felt like, with all the work that he put in, just disappointed for him, and just because I know how excited he was for that first game and for him to only make it through the first, part of the first quarter. I just know how much that crushed him. And, I can't say enough great things about who he's been and the type of player and leadership and work ethic that he's had since we've been here. And hopefully he's able to bounce right back and get back in the swing of things.
Well, I want to ask you about some of your other players, but and I'll try for you not to get too technical. Maybe that is the explanation. No, one series, it was in the second half on one of the Georgia Tech touchdown drives where they went to the right, and to me it looked like the edge wasn't set right or it wasn't filled right, but they got the edge, and then the next play they came back to left. Was that on the ends? Was that something else?
So the first one was a pressure that got out on the edge to our defensive left, and then the second one was a base defensive call that got out on the edge to the right. That's partially absolutely the ends. That the touchdown. The wide outside stretch play that they ran, we are the first level of contain. There are levels behind us, so it's still all 11 guys kind of working together, but we are the first on the line of scrimmage contain, and we didn't do a good enough job of keeping the ball inside, and that's one of those things this week that we got to go back and make sure that those situations don't occur again. You got to learn lessons. A lot of times in game ones, you learn lessons as a player, as a coach, and you got to make sure that you correct them.
Well, Coach Mike Norvell said exactly that. We needed to play a football game. Now you know what you have to work with and where you need to get better. Let's go back to your personnel. So you mentioned Kando. J-Rob on the other end has been around here a while. Sure. And has been through a lot with his hometown of Panama City, and I know he's got a bright future ahead for you too. Absolutely.
I've really J-Rob has done a really good job in the last several weeks of, he's starting to come into his own a little bit, maturing, just his approach day to day. And, I thought, I was pleased with the energy, effort, and toughness that he played the game with the other day. And we just got to build upon that. That's just the first step in what is going to be a long journey for this team this season. And if each day that we get a little bit better and he keeps building upon his play, I think at the end of the year he'll like his results and we all will be happy with him.
Well, and when one guy goes down, it's always next man up. I mean, that's the way it rolls in football. And you've got a couple of young guys there who have promising careers ahead, too. And that was our first chance, really, to see them play. And I'm talking about Griffiths and Fuller. Tell us a little bit about each of those two.
Well, we kind of got an interesting defensive end room because we got two guys that are senior leaders, or older guys. I guess Kando still has another year on his eligibility. But you got Josh and J-Rob. But then after that, it's a bunch of young guys. So Quayshawn Fuller, Josh Griffiths, Derek McClendon all got a lot of playing time the other night. And for the most part, it's really the first time they've been out there. Definitely for Josh Griffiths, but for D-Mac and Quayshawn, it's really the first real minutes they've had. I thought, what I thought they did? I thought they did their job. And it was exactly what I told them yesterday in the meeting. Now we need to see you make some plays. We got to have the ability to get off blocks and impact the game. It's one thing to go out there and make sure you do your assignment, which is step one, right? And now step two is we got to feel your presence when you're out there on the field.
Well, one of the things you have to do, whether it's game one or wherever it is in the season, and I know Coach Norvell, the way the practice schedule works, there's always a Sunday practice. For some teams, Sunday's a day off, but it's part of it is to get stretched out, loosened up, but part of it's to immediately attack the areas you need to improve in and to turn the page mentally so you start getting ready for the next part of the season.
Yeah, no, yesterday it was good. It was good to get out there yesterday with the guys. It was a sick feeling in the locker room on Saturday night. It was a sick feeling coming into the office yesterday. But getting back out on the field, getting back to work, that's all you can do. There's really nothing you can do to change what happened the night before other than find a way to get better. And, if that's our continued mindset, this team will end up showing great progress throughout the course of the year. And, I thought the work was good yesterday. I thought the energy was where we would want it. And, the one thing I could say about our guys is that they are bought into what this program wants to be about. And if we continue to do that, we're gonna get to where we want to go.
Coach, we appreciate your insight. Best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.
That is Coach John Papuchis, who coordinates the special teams coaches defensive ends at FSU. We will come back and talk with the only player in the country who's had a multi-interception game so far in 2020. That is Asante Samuel Jr. He joins us next right here on Inside Seminole Football.
Even at a young age, Barry knew that you can't protect against everything life has in store, but you can sure try. Better safe than sorry. The same is true today at Barano Heating and Air. Our team helps homeowners protect their investment with regular maintenance options that can help keep their system safe from unexpected crashes. Barry knows comfort. Learn more at whatbarryknows.com.
This is not a restaurant. This is slow smoking that stirs your soul. The stuff that makes going out feel like coming home. This is not a restaurant. It's a barbecue. 50 years in the making. Come fill up on all your favorites. Sonny's Barbecue. Come taste tradition.
Severe weather can change your life in an instant. Powerful storms lead to flash floods and knockout power. Don't get caught off guard. Stay prepared with the ABC 27 First Alert Storm Shield app. Download Storm Shield for free now.
What's up, America? Get ready for an epic new season of dancing with stars that will light it up. 10! AJ McLean, Vernon Davis, Sky Jackson, Johnny Weir, Caitlin Bristow, Charles Oakley, Jeannie Mai, Justina Machado, Jesse Metcalf, Michelle Stauss, Anne Heche, Monica Aldama, Neve Schulman, Nelly, and Carol Baskin. And it's all happening live in the ballroom.
Dancing premieres live tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Do you know taking 2 different medications at the same time can be dangerous? To be safe, fill all your prescriptions at one pharmacy. Learn more at CerseiLaw.com.
Cersei Denny, ready to fight for you.
Southern Flooring. Beautiful floors and professional, reliable service.
Southern Flooring is fantastic.
Definitely recommend Southern Flooring for anyone's home needs.
Altogether, they did probably about 4,000 square foot.
The people in the service, they generally care about what they do. They enjoy what they do.
Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football with head coach Mike Norvell. Tom Block, pleased to be joined now by the ACC Defensive Back of the Week, Asante Samuel Jr., who is with us. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
You've, you picked up some accolades in the preseason as a preseason All-ACC pick, but to go out, you entered Saturday's game with 1 career interception, and you got 2, maybe both in the first half. So it has to be nice to feel like the fruits of all your labor and all your hard work are paying off when you get opportunities like that.
Oh, definitely. It's a blessing to be in those opportunities to catch interceptions by the coach calling the right play and my teammates doing what they're supposed to do, and it's a blessing to be here.
You know, I think both of them thwarted Georgia Tech drives. I'm visualizing the first one in my mind right now, but the opening kick, Georgia Tech has moved the ball. A penalty pushes them out, but it was one of the only times in that drive you got them behind the sticks. I don't remember if it was 2nd or 3rd down, but it was 12, 14 yards to go. What coverage were you playing there? Because you had your eyes up, and you were able to make easy work of that pass.
Oh, we was in cover 3, and they did a sprint out, and we've been watching that all week, and we knew they were going to do that. So I just trusted my my knowledge of the game and just made a play.
All right, so I got to ask you now. You're getting to midfield, and it looked like Jarian could have taken out that lineman. So did he just think you were past the lineman and he was going to get the next guy?
It was just a miscommunication. I mean, it is what it is in football. You just got to make fast decisions.
I'm nitpicking. You had 60 or 70 all-purpose yards on the return. So you get 2 picks. Which those numbers show up. They're reflected in the fact that you win the ACC Defensive Back of the Week honors. But for you, as you went into this year, and you were grinding every day, what things were you personally working on to say, I got to get better at this?
I just want to be my personal best because I feel like I still have a lot of potential to fulfill on the field. So I just try to go out and maximize myself with what I can do. I don't try to look at anybody else or what they're doing. I just try to worry about me.
Given that the game went the way that it did with Georgia Tech prevailing 16-13, it's just one game, but yet you worked so hard in the offseason. How disheartening was that, and I'm sure it was disappointing, but then at the same time, how quickly do you turn the page to get ready for the rest of the season?
It was very disappointing to lose your first game, but I mean, you have to think about it for 24 hours and then keep it moving. We got to worry about Miami. We have a bye week this week. We have to focus on Miami now. We can't dwell on the past. That's how you keep losing. We're going to get this right and respond.
Jeff Sims was playing his first game for Georgia Tech. When you're playing a dual threat guy, and Miami has one too, how challenging is that? Because he can throw, but he can also run with the football.
It's very challenging, but if you do what you're supposed to do and you're 111, like your job on the field, everything should play out itself. You just go play football.
You mentioned Miami, and you're from South Florida, so I would imagine this game maybe means even more to you and the other South Florida guys on the team. But I'll let you offer that thought. What's your history with Miami, your thoughts just on matching up against the Canes again?
Every year I'm excited to play Miami. We haven't beaten Miami since I've been here, so every year I try to bring my A game, try to work harder, and just give it all I got because, it's a rivalry, and a lot of people are depending on you, like the FSU the FSU greats from the past. They're looking at you, and it's a rivalry. So you just gotta bring your A game.
Well, there's been a long history of FSU greats from the past who were from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, went up and had great careers here. I think like a Marvin Jones would be one. Do you have a lot of friends on that Miami team right now, or guys you played football with growing up down in South Florida?
Yeah, I have a lot of people I know on that team. I played with, played against since Little League, high school. It's just, but when we playing, that doesn't matter. I don't really care about none of that. I'm trying to demolish you.
It's business, I understand that. Well, bringing it back to Florida State, the depth in the secondary this year is really, really strong. I mean, what do you see when you get in the cornerback room, or just when the defensive secondary is meeting as a whole? There's a lot of talented players in that group.
Yeah, I see a lot of talent every time I step in that room, and we're just trying to maximize our potential. We feel like we should be able to do anything we set our mind to because we have the potential to do it and the athletes to do it. We just have to work hard and keep responding.
As you go into an open week, and I know you have several days of practice this week, you know, how will that go? What will you guys work on? What's your mindset as you go through the open week and then you get a week to prepare for Miami?
We're preparing like we play Miami this week, so we're thinking like it's a game every week. We don't really, so we're just trying to prepare for Miami right now.
Yeah, and that Miami game comes up not this Saturday, but next. Well, what I don't know if you're a guy who makes the list, you know, here's what I want to do before my career's through, or here's my goals for this year, whether you write it down or not, but I know you've got some things in there. You got off to a great start with 2 interceptions. What are you hoping that you individually can do over the course of the rest of this season?
Honestly, I'm not big on myself. I want to win as a team and fulfill our potential as a team. I don't really have any personal goals, but whatever it is to win a game each week, that's what I want to do.
Sounds good. Well, congratulations on a great start personally. To your point, you're more interested in the team, and let's get the team back on track against Miami.
Yes, sir.
Asante Samuel Jr., thanks so much for joining us. We will come back and wrap things up right here on Inside Seminole Football with head coach Mike Norvell.
Our drive-thru is still open, 24/7 as usual. And now, when you order online between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., we'll walk it right out to your car. Just because we can't be close doesn't mean we can't be neighborly.
The FSU Bookstore has Tallahassee's largest selection of licensed Seminole merchandise. You can get your Seminole pride at the FSU Bookstore. Join us for home game day events, autograph signings by FSU former players, and more. Check out our social media page at facebook.com/FSU Bookstore for more details. You can shop at one of our 5 convenient locations or go online at shopfsu.com. Remember, the FSU Bookstore has the largest selection of licensed Seminole merchandise.
Nobody can read between the lines.
She's an 18-year-old girl. She got a settlement. You saw a little money. You wanted a big red truck.
Like Judge Judy.
Shiny, shiny, shiny red truck.
Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 27.
At Inside Edition, we are the only daily TV magazine with a dedicated team of investigative reporters.
You can see right into the room next door.
There's always more to the story. Inside Edition.
Watch Inside Edition weeknights at 7 on ABC 27.
I'm Bobby Dollar of Bobby Dollar Appliance in Thomasville. We sell a lot of appliances here in Tallahassee because of our low price guarantee. But we offer a lot more than low price. So if you have had a bad experience with service after the sale, we think you will enjoy shopping with us because your satisfaction is our #1 priority. A low price is great, but the way that you're treated after the sale is always more important to us. If you're not satisfied with your local appliance dealers, maybe it's time to take a short drive to Thomasville to Bobby Dollar Appliance, East Jackson Street, Thomasville.
Tallahassee's favorite tree service is growing even more. At AAA Tree Experts in Landscaping, our garden center is now open. We have everything you need to make your yard beautiful. Find plants, trees, flowers, gravel, mulch, pavers, and much more. The AAA Garden Center is open from 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, and it's located in our home office at 3610 North Monroe Street. Visit AAA Tree Experts in Landscaping and check out our new garden center today.
Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell is sponsored by AAA Tree Experts, Tallahassee Harley-Davidson, and Reed's Metals.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on Inside Seminole Football with head coach Mike Norvell. Reminder, we come your way each and every Monday at 7 o'clock here on ABC 27 and on the Seminole Sports Radio Network by Learfield IMG College. Next week, the coach will be back. It will be game week, rivalry week against the Miami Hurricanes, and you'll get a chance to ask questions of the coach. That's next Monday at 7. Till then, I'll see you next time, and go Noles!
Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell is sponsored by Bobby Dollar Appliance Consultants, the Gym Collection, and Tallahassee Roofing. Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell is sponsored by AAA Tree Experts, Tallahassee Harley-Davidson, and Reed's Metals.
Within our walls, lives are being changed. Healing is happening, making people stronger. Because we know a healthy life is a happy life, and your health means everything to us. You are why we're blending innovative technology with compassion and going beyond our walls to rethink healthcare. We are Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare, your hospital for life.